everyone. Welcome to Techyries. Halloween has come and gone, but we still have a couple spooky games we want to show you, and we're going to show them to you a little bit later in the show, so we're excited to share those with you. But if you are not aware and you might be new here, I'm Morgan, and this is my lovely co-host KP, and we're here to tell you all about the stuff.
Yeah, it's kinda sad that Halloween is over.
It came
I
and
feel
went
like
so quick. Like, holy cow.
well, and I was hoping that we would have done more, but I know, like, you were out for, like, a week, so that was kinda sad. We did get kind of a bunch in, but, like, I just felt like we were gonna do way more, and it just
I
was
know.
like, every time I thought we were gonna be able to grab it, it
I know, and then,
was
like,
like
I have sadly, the passing of a family member in my life, so, like, that also, like, it happens. Life happens, and they find a way to make sure that all of our amazing ideas end up becoming a little smaller versions of it, but, one day.
well, maybe this is the end. Maybe no more bad things, right? Maybe
Yeah.
no more.
See, I usually always have one really bad thing that happens to me in the fall for, like, the last 5 years, so hopefully I'm one and done. So, yeah, we'll see.
Okay. I'm hoping. Knock on wood.
Me too!
All right, but besides the spookiness and the going away of Halloween, it is sad. We're talking about the Halo campaign evolved and what it can mean for multiplayer. Plus, Nintendo could face a roadblock in their lawsuit with Palworld, while Tencent pushes back against Sony. And we have some big changes coming to Amazon. So we have a jam-packed show. So let's dive in and get to it in today's Tech Pulse.
Yeah, let's do it.
Do it to it.
Right, everybody. So, the next chapter for the Halo franchise and the end of the console wars has officially been announced. So, this next chapter is none other than Halo Campaign Evolved, which is a complete Unreal Engine 5 remake of the original campaign of Halo Combat Evolved, which started everything. It is the first game of the Halo franchise. So, however, there will be some brand new surprises. Halo Campaign Evolved brings the original story to life with new 4K visuals, updated animations, remastered music, and re recorded voice lines. Halo Studios is also bringing in a good number of beloved weapons and vehicles from later Halo franchise titles and adding 3 new bonus campaign missions. These are all designed to expand and celebrate the adventure that started it all. But how is this ending the console wars? Well, that is because Halo Campaign Evolved will not only be available on Xbox and PC, but on PlayStation 5 as well. So, are you excited for this faithful modernization remake of the first Halo game? Because I know I am. I'm thrilled.
You talked about the end of the console wars. I know a lot of people are like, this is the end. This is the end of Xbox.
Everybody is throwing out, it's the end of the war.
Right. And I'm just like, is it the end of the war or is it an evolution to see who has now the better games to sell to both sides? Like,
Yeah,
isn't it change? I mean, I know you asked about, modernization remake
no,
of
that's
this
fine.
other first Halo game, but I just think it's funny how like you talked about the console wars and I'm like, I think it's just gonna be a switch over. We're gonna see an evolution of the
Truthfully,
console
I
wars
I
change
agree
to
with
something
that
different.
statement. Truthfully, I agree with that. Like, I don't think by maybe one day we'll get to a point where the war is considered over between the consoles. But for now, I do believe we're gonna have more of a an evolution. We're gonna see more titles that would have been exclusives being going across the different platforms. So I think there's gonna be a minor console war. It's gonna have less tight of a grip and less of a chokehold on one another.
Right.
Especially with, we're seeing PlayStation 5 games like God of War, for example, or the Horizon franchise. Those are over on PC now, and then seeing, obviously having the Microsoft and Xbox, like, just ownership thing happen. We have so many Xbox games and the Game Pass, just all of that over here on PC. So I think the next proper evolution is seeing a little bit more crossover between PlayStation and Xbox titles. Yes, a
Console
console
Cold War.
Cold War, yes, element.
But as far as your other question, yeah, I think
Yeah,
I really am excited for the remake of the first Halo game. I think that's what people really find nostalgia in is the fact that like, Halo first came out. It was like, oh my goodness, this is so great. This is like the next evolution of video gaming at that time.
right.
And so I think like yeah, it's gonna be really cool. It's gonna hit a lot of people who loved the first one, who were big Halo players back then, when they first came out, 117 all the way. You know. So yeah. Master Chief just coming out. I think this is gonna be great. I love the fact that it's something that is near and dear to a lot of gamers. And
Yep,
I love the fact too that it is gonna be crossed over. I do like at the time that Halo came out, like I get it. It was like we need to compete. Like you have your games over there, PlayStation. Well, guess what? We're gonna have Halo. We have this franchise, it's ours, and that's it. And I think at that point in time, it was what made sense in the world. And
yep.
now that we are seeing this crossover sharing point of everything, I think it just makes more sense in the end.
Yeah,
So
so
I'm really happy that we're doing that.
I'm excited. I'm so thrilled for this just because like for me for example, I did all like Pokemon. I did the like Mario Kart, all of this like on like the Game Boys, the N64s, like all that sort of stuff. But my true like gamer evolution was when I got my dad came home with the OG Xbox, which I have out in my garage. When the divorce happened, I'm like, "Hey, you have all of my old consoles. Can I have them?" So,
Yeah.
and I have actually all of my games. I actually have some of the like Halo 2's under my thing over here, like the PC version, and then I have like all of my old Xbox games. But if you go and look through of everything, I have every single Xbox or sorry, every single Halo game released. And I'm so thrilled just cuz like I was a light gamer, but what made me a true game like I identify as a female gamer was when Halo came out, as well as Star Wars Battlefront, because those were like my two like entry into like really getting into gaming, and I remember just countless hours of my brother and I sitting at the TV playing Halo Combat Evolved and Halo 2 together, doing the like multiplayer campaign together. So
Mhm.
you know, huge nostalgia for sure. I get giddy every time I hear the fucking soundtracks. So I'm very excited about this.
But those excited about Halo campaign evolved, we'll see some changes coming to the new game.
Yeah.
So hopefully you guys are excited though, like after I tell you guys what's happening. So this game will focus just on the story mode, and there will not be any PvP multiplayer version. Which honestly I'm okay with because I hated getting killed. My brother would sit there all the time and be like, "Let's play against each other," and then he would just murder me, and I
Oh my
was like, "Well,
gosh.
that makes me
Same.
feel."
My brother
Yeah.
and I would do full on wars against one another in PvP, which is kind of why I'm sad it's not there. There's
Yeah,
so
I
much
mean, I
like
get
I
it,
have
but
so many funny memories around like Halo PvP. So,
yeah.
but I mean, we do have now we have Halo Infinite, which
Mhm.
is we have the free Halo multiplayer PvP modes through that. So, you don't need to have the campaign to play the PvP for there so that it makes sense since they have
Yeah,
that option.
right. So, Windows Central executive producer Damon Kahn says that we're trying not to replace what is a masterpiece in the original. We're trying to basically make something that stands kind of shoulder to shoulder with it, using new tools, new energy to get a little bit of a fresh take on some things, but honoring the legacy. So, but this game will have a 4-player online co-op for the campaign, which I'm excited
Nice.
about. So, do you think having a PvP gameplay will hurt the remaster? Not having the PvP gameplay will hurt the remaster of the game. Let us know. I personally don't think so
I don't think so.
because the nostalgia is still there. People love it. They're going to jump into it. They're going to enjoy it. They're going to, relive those moments with
Absolutely.
family, friends, new people that they've met, like who haven't played it before maybe, or even like, nieces and nephews,
Yes,
you know, like that
absolutely.
whole thing is going to be just something that's going to be near and dear to a lot of people's hearts. So I don't really think it's going to hurt at all.
I'm right there with you. Like, especially like I was just saying a little bit ago, we have Halo Infinite, the free anybody can download it and play multiplayer PvP stuff. So that if you want to do that, you can go and do that across for sure Xbox and it's going to be Xbox and PC. We'll see if that comes to PlayStation after maybe the success of this. Well, who knows? We'll see what happens there, but I think because we already have that free option to do the Halo multiplayer PvP stuff, it's going to be fine. It's not going to hurt this. The focus is on remastering the campaign, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Excuse me, sorry. Well, everybody, I did mention earlier that I played a lot of Pokemon and like other Nintendo games growing up. And well, there is a major update in the Nintendo and Pokemon Company versus Pocket Pair lawsuit over Palworld. So, as a bit of a recap, just in case you're not familiar, when we last talked about this lawsuit, Nintendo submitted new patents to the Japan Patent Office mid lawsuit. They even rewrote a mounting related patent mid lawsuit, which all of this made us believe it was a sign of Nintendo and the Pokemon Company being worried about their ability to potentially win the case. Though that is not proven fact, it's a lot what myself, I believe KP, and then a lot of people across the internet were thinking. So, one of those Nintendo patents related to the case has been reportedly rejected by the JPO for lacking inventive originality. So this specific patent is related to monster capture. The Japan Patent Office's reasoning for this rejection actually made reference to older games with similar mechanics that were released even before Nintendo's 2021 priority date. So, this includes Ark, which was released in 2015, Monster Hunter in 2013, sorry, Monster Hunter 4 in 2013, and more. And ironically, Pocket Pair's Craftopia from 2020 and Niantic's Pokemon Go were among other examples of games that were used to argue that the patent lacked originality. So I got a good chuckle out of that one, not gonna lie. Now, this non-binding and non-final decision by the JPO to reject the application may not directly impact the lawsuit, but it could still influence it due to how closely related the two main monster capture patents that are being used against Palworld are in this case. For now, we will continue to keep an eye on the story and give any new updates as we get them. Do you think Nintendo and the Pokemon Company still have a chance of winning this lawsuit against Pocket Pair's Palworld? Let us know in the chat, in the comments. KP, what do you think about this new update of the lawsuit?
So I think I think Nintendo's going to have to really take a seat back and like sit there and realize that you can't that mechanic doesn't make sense to put a patent on. It's not like it is something that is only theirs
Hmm.
from the get-go. I mean, if that's the case, I know you mentioned Monster Hunter 4, you mentioned
Arc.
what else did you uh Arc. Yes, thank you, Arc. Um, but also look at like Digimon. Look at
Yeah. Like you tell me
what
this lawsuit's happening, but we've never gone after Digimon.
right, exactly.
Come
That's what I
on.
mean. Like, look at Digimon. Look at what's the other one that came out when Digimon was like coming out too? That was also a big one. Um, my brain is like,
Oh
I don't
gosh.
know.
I'm totally drawing a blank too. I don't know.
There was another one. It was like it was along the same time as Digimon and 'cause it was Pokemon, Digimon, and
Hey, while you're looking that up, thank you for the resub, Latin. 29 months. Let's go. Let's
woo,
go. Road to 3 years continues.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There we go. But they were all like monster capturing, if you think about it. Like that's all they did. They just captured monsters and they brought them to the playing field and they threw them out into the battle and said, "Hey, do your thing." And even if the capturing was maybe like something a little bit different, well, yeah, it was a card game, but it was still considered a capture in a way, even if it's a card. I mean, if you look at like even like Magic the Gathering, any card game or a mechanic that looks at like you holding a creature, it might not be the same as like, capturing in a ball, but the mechanic of capturing an object, whether it's in a ball or on a card, is still considered that mechanic according to what they're talking about. They're talking about the mechanic of capturing a monster. So, if that's the case, then they should have been going after all of these people in the get-go. So the fact that it does like this is like just ridiculous. So I personally don't think Nintendo and the Pokemon Company have a leg to stand on because if that was the case, then they should have done this years ago.
So real quick
You
though,
know,
sorry, Element saying there is no capture in Yu-Gi-Oh! You just buy the cards. However, you technically can capture and win the cards through your battles as well. And I think that's where people get some of the idea of like that creature capture look, is because you do in a roundabout way capture your cards and therefore the creatures on those cards. Um Yu-Gi-Oh is a bit of an area of a gray area for sure in the
right.
creature capture realm, but it does have similarities for sure.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like it's this gray area is what they're talking about. They're not
Mhm.
talking about just like specifically a ball. They're patenting a capture mechanic is what they're looking at. Whether it's a ball or it's a card or it's a box or it's a bag, like it doesn't matter what the object is. They're looking at the mechanic of the monster capture piece of it, which is why I'm like, Pokemon should have done this years ago. And if that was the case, they should have put a patent into this years ago when they first released Pokemon as being like, this is our game, this is what we have, and this is what we're doing. But they didn't do that. So then you had Digimon, you had Yu-Gi-Oh, you had others coming out like Arc, you had Monster Hunter 3, 4, like you had all of these things. And
Let alone the
so,
irony of them using Pokemon Go and Craftopia against them.
right, right. So
Games
it's
that
like,
were licensed, sorry, Pocket Pair's Craftopia, and but then Pokemon Go was licensed from the Pokemon Company by Niantic. And
right,
it's so funny to me that that's being used against them, even though because it's a licensed game and not theirs specifically.
right, exactly. So to me, I don't think they have a leg to stand on because if they wanted to make sure that this was something, they should have started it from the get-go, and they didn't. So why attack now when you could, like, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And even look at upcoming games that are coming out. Um, Animo. Animo is going to be very
That is true.
Pokemon-esque, but
That is
also
true.
Palworld-esque, you know?
I
So
mean,
it's going to be
Palworld's coming out with their Pal Farm
Palform.
that
Yeah.
you still in a round. I obviously I'm sure they don't have like that creature capture mechanic because of the pending lawsuit, but still like you still partner with these creatures to do these things. And we're not going to talk about Pokopia that also was announced. We'll see if there's another lawsuit between those two or not.
Well, if that's the case, then Minecraft should sue.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're just gonna pick apart games because somebody uses a mechanic, then we're not gonna have video games. Like, that's where we're gonna be stuck. We're not gonna have any video games at all. So, yeah.
That has
Just
blocks, right?
ridiculous.
We've been seeing a lot of Minecraft, a lot of games coming out with like the block aesthetic, like Minecraft lately. So Minecraft could have some legs to stand on, but I don't think they strictly patent that design. So,
Right.
and it's kind of the same thing. Like, okay, they haven't patented this block breaking, block building mechanic. So, like, creature capture, eye catcher, capture creatures across so many different games. Like, I'm trying to think of like other ones. Like you technically could think about that for Minecraft. Different scenario. It's not with a ball, but I
Mhm.
technically will lead and then pet in creatures. And Minecraft, I will. I'm trying to think. There's another one I played recently that I
Oh,
can't think of the name. But like there's
okay,
so many mechanics that is like you need to capture creatures or purchase these creatures or do this and use them for either battling or for, working on your base, this and that. Like, even Palworld doesn't have a leg to stand on if they were trying to make this own patent.
Right. But like look at WoW. If we're gonna go even more crazy, look at WoW. WoW literally has a mini game in it where it's literally you battle little tiny creatures that you capture with a
Yeah.
ball. So
And that's
yeah.
another thing. They tried Nintendo is trying to like patent the whole thing about like the mounting system for like
Mhm.
riding a creature, but like they're like, oh, you can't like just summon it like when you're this and that and how to do this, and it's like I can in WoW. Like, what do you mean? But they're only doing it for their credibility against Pocket Pair's Power World. So
They're just trying to throw their weight around. Like that's the problem.
100%.
They're
Nintendo
like,
just needs
we're
to
the
calm
better
down.
people.
Like
Right.
they need to like kind of get knocked off their pedestal a bit. Like there are Nintendo games I love, but Nintendo
Mhm.
as a company is just becoming kind of a bully.
Yeah.
So they need to kind of get checked, in my personal opinion. I am very much
Yeah.
team Palworld. Sorry, once again, Nintendo and the Pokemon Company, that they made a game that we had been asking for ages that you haven't given.
Come on, just say it. Their butt hurt. Say it.
Oh,
Their butt hurt.
100%. They're just jealous. They're jealous. They're jealous of the success. Oh no.
That's right.
What do
They
you what
feel
else? I mean, this
butthurt.
is this is before even the Switch 2 got announced, but yeah, I'm not going to go buy the Switch 2 so I can play your new Pokemon game. Sorry. I'm just going to go play some Palworld. Like,
Right.
it's cheaper.
Oh
Oh
man.
man. But that's not the only lawsuit that has updates.
No, no. So we also have new information surrounding the Tencent and Sony lawsuit. So strap in, everybody, because it's about to get bumpy. All right. Tencent says it is hitting back at Sony, saying the case is built on future conduct that has not and may never occur. The lawsuit was filed back in July, saying Tencent built a clone of Sony's game Horizon. But then Tencent filed a motion to dismiss, stating Sony was trying to seek an impermissible monopoly on genre conventions. Then Sony hit back again with an argument saying nonsense, and then filed a motion for a preliminary injunction, which would block Tencent from promotion or releasing Light Emotrium in its current form, claiming irreparable harm to the Horizon franchise. Um, but then this is good. It's like back and forth. And then
Another bat swing and
Tencent
another one.
exactly, just back and forth, back and forth. Here we go. So then Tencent filed another motion to dismiss, stating that the lawsuit targets the wrong parties and is built on speculation about an unreleased game. Tencent also stated that Sony can't claim a trademark. Tencent's attorney say that Fame does not create a trademark. To qualify as a trademark, a mark must serve as a source identifier for a particular good or service. The complaint goes on to say that the purported mark is characterized by its attire, accessories, and facial markings, but general descriptions are not enough to identify a trademark. So Tencent also says that the description of Aloy's appearance is inconsistent and vague. So, what do you think of their arguments? Let us know. I think they have a good leg, man. I do. I think they have a good leg on this one.
So, honestly, overall, I think Tencent and Motrium are going to be fine. I think this is going to very much get dismissed. However, I have to speak a bit of I have to do a little advocacy though for Sony and the Horizon franchise, because that marketing material they first ever like put out looked a lot like it. I mean, they had similar framing of items. Like they've taken them down and changed their marketing materials, because honestly, that was the area that really sparked everybody being like, "Whoa, this looks a lot like Horizon." They're like, "Our person does not have red hair." Well, she had pretty red auburn brown hair. in that first image you ever released for your marketing. So I think the best route to have gone for this isn't so much like, oh, trademarking and like, because they are right. Sony is trying to talk about a future game, a game where not a lot of information has even been put out, where they can know that this is going to be a legal issue. They should have been focusing on like the stealing of marketing and like how they were trying to like imitate their marketing structure, which isn't eh, still isn't a strong leg to stand on, which is why I think they're going for the way they're going. Because people can look, I could look at just like kind of think about we wouldn't use the specific words, just do it because those are trademarked, but a lot of people do variations of that style and that like kind of punchy thing that Nike ended up succeeding on. So there's a lot of things where like marketing is like, well, people copy a lot of people, but in their own way. But you look at that marketing material and see how they framed their photos and everything else, and you put them side by side to like the Horizon marketing, like it was a little yikes. I was originally very much Team Sony because of what their marketing material looked like. Now, I mean, it is what it is. I do think Light of Motrium will end up seeing the light of Motrium, but all things considered, there were understandably questionable things that Sony jumped on for this lawsuit.
Well, I mean, so I'm looking at the wiki for Aloy. I always
Sure.
want to call her Alloy. It's Aloy. Um, and it's very vague. It's like she's trains as a warrior. She has her mother's identity. Um, let's see. She was created. She's a character who could provide many tactical options in battle. As a hunter at heart, she has little compassion for mechanics or machines beyond the hunter's respect. Let's see. She was first introduced as an infant who has been entrusted in Ross's care, a man who has been cast out by the Noro tribe. Like, there's not a lot of like, she has this type of hair. She has this, like, there's none of that. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
that'd
looking
be
through and I'm not.
it'd be depends. Sometimes they break that up, especially on Wikipedia, by like
But
their
they were saying that it's very vague, and it is very vague. Like,
sure.
it doesn't really give you, yes, they have an image of her. I can look at the image and go, okay. But if you were to actually look at her description without an image
Hmm.
of who she is, the only thing that they say is that she's modeled after the Dutch actress Hannah Hoekstra. Like, okay, cool. So she's modeled after this lady, but that still doesn't give me an understanding of who she is. Uh, and I believe Aloy changes her image changes throughout the games. Like throughout each game that's out there, I think her image changes a little bit.
A little bit, but not like overly much in terms of
No,
like
it's not overly, but that was the other thing that they were
she
stating
does
too. I
like
didn't
have
put
age
everything in
progression
there.
for sure.
Yeah, they did show like she does have differences in how she looks. I mean, in the last one, she has really light hair. Like she went and got it dyed. In the first one, she has really red hair.
Yeah.
Like in the middle one, she has more like brownish red hair. So, like it changes over time. Like and that's normal though for people who make video games, but I see the Sony's point, but at the same time I'm like I also get Tencent's point.
Sure.
If
Absolutely.
you can't trademark an image that isn't doesn't fall underneath what they're saying. And if it's vague, you can't just be like trademarked. Like, no. You have to have exact wording of what it is and everything in order to make sure that it falls underneath everything. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it will be probably another back and forth for a while. So maybe we'll get another one where it's like, and
Oh,
Sony says this, but Tencent says this, but then
I'm
Sony
sure we
says
will.
this.
I'm sure we will. And guys, like just like the whole situation with Palworld and Pokemon, we will be keeping an eye on the story and sharing any updates as we get them.
That's right. So let's move to Amazon because Amazon has a lot of news And some of it that we're going to tell you, you guys already know because it's been out there for a while. But there's some of it that maybe you didn't know. So let's start with the bad news. So Amazon laid off 14,000 corporate jobs, which I'm sure many of you
Mhm.
have already read about. Amazon says it is working to expand its artificial intelligence infrastructure. It has already invested $10 billion in data center projects in Mississippi, Indiana, Ohio, and North Carolina. And they're hoping to compete with tech giants such as OpenAI, Google, Microsoft, and Meta. And these cuts amount to a 4% reduction in the workforce. So, what are your thoughts about this change in the workforce from Amazon as a whole? Let us know.
It's just disappointing. Like, I get it, they're trying to push in and evolve, and to do that, they're making their cuts so they can put more funding to where they need it to be so they can do that evolution. Um, it's just sad to, like, know that there are so many workers who are being impacted in a time where, as someone who's also impacted by, like, the lack of jobs out there, like, it's gonna be really hard for them to find jobs, and I feel for the people who lost their positions. So, it's just it's one of those things where it it's kinda part of the course, sadly, for the evolution Amazon's trying to do, but it really sucks. 14,000 people out there looking for jobs in this awful job market. Crazy.
I think the biggest issue is that Amazon, okay, we're in a world where AI is still really, really new. So not everybody is going to be an AI expert. You
Right.
know, it's the same thing when we went through and we went from editing on tape and everything to editing in digital form. Not everybody was an expert, but it was just brand new and people were starting to learn that whole thing. And that's what's happening with AI. Everybody's starting to
Mhm.
learn it, they're starting to understand it, but they're not experts, right? So I don't know why Amazon, who makes a ton of money, you know, in their in a year, they make a ton of money. They could have taken the 14,000 people, especially with the fact that they're going to build all of these massive data centers, right? And
Right.
they could have sat there and said, "Okay, let's start training even half of them." I would have been fine with 7,000 people
Sure.
being trained to be pushed into this next realm of what they want to do in the AI infrastructure. I think that would have been better. It would have showed a better image for them instead of just laying
It
them off and being
also
like, "We're
adds
done with
into,
you."
like, employee, like, loyalty and, like,
Mhm.
and their will to retain this job. Like, "Hey, we're axing this position, but if you're willing, we'd like to train you for this new evolution." Like, that's a big deal, and people, like, through somebody who's been axed from many jobs due to, like, layoffs and budget cuts, that means a lot, when you could be like, "Hey, like, we're moving in a new direction, but we wanna keep you on and have you help us move to for that direction." So,
Right. Well, to go off of what Element said, because he said training costs money and laying off people makes stock prices go up. Well, if you think about it, if Morgan's working for an editing company and they lay her off and then they decide that they want to bring somebody else back in and not bring her back in, the amount of money that they're spending to put up that job and then train that person, get them all up to date is a lot of money to bring them back in. Like
and job
bring back
listings are
somebody,
not free if you don't know that. You have to pay to have job listings up.
right? Yeah, we're learning that. We're learning that. So, yes, training does cost money, but if you
Mhm.
take half of your workforce, 7,000 people, and you put them through training to get them ready for what this next infrastructure, at the fact that you've already dropped $10 billion, they can drop another $1 million on training, to be honest. A small budget, a small business would not have the ability to do that. I totally understand with that. Like,
Mhm.
that would be heart wrenching on them because they'd be like, I'm losing money just to train somebody new or train somebody who's already worked here into a different field just so that they can save a buck. We're talking about Amazon. They make a ton of money. They can afford to sit there and shell
Yeah,
out the money for
but
training.
their profit margins. That's how they
They
think.
still made money off of it, even though they're spending
Oh,
$10 billion.
I know, but they're like that, sadly, because just like as Element said in the chat, like, you're using logic and reason, and
Wow.
but you gotta think corporate, right? So, like, corporate's just like, "How can I make money?" Sadly. Like, "What's the best way to make my money?" And it's sickening.
Fuck the corporate leader bonuses. Nobody needs
Yeah,
them.
They certainly don't at Amazon. Holy cow, they make enough money. Save some for
Yes.
the rest of us. Jeez. But this is a topic I could rant on about for a long time with like the integration of AI into just the workforce in general. Because
I
like
mean, I
the
don't
amount
mind the use of AI for certain pieces. Like if we're talking about helping with data and understanding like trending and all forecasting for stocks and everything else, like that makes sense. To use it to help you understand so that you can be like, okay, if this is what we're seeing, instead of you doing the number and the crunching because it'll take you longer, totally worth it. I understand it, but we should not be using it to write emails, create content for images, create videos. Like that should not be used. We have people to do that. They know how to do that. But if we're talking like actual data points and understanding it so that you can take stuff and you can learn it faster, I'm totally all game for that because I would love for not having to input data like every day into an Excel file and then figure out how to like how do I interpret this and how can I make this look? I would love for AI just to be like, okay, we went through and did it for you. This is how many you have of this, and how many you have of that, and how much you have of this. Like, do the math for me. Totally fine with that.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, there's a lot of issues like I see of like jobs that I apply to because like I have such strong editing skills, so I go apply to a lot of video editor positions. And when I go in and I see like there's some that are very blanket, like, oh, we're looking for a video editor to train our video editing AI. And I'm like, so you want me to come train the thing that you're trying to get to replace my position?
Yeah.
Like I see a lot of that out there right now, and and that's just so frustrating and disheartening because it's like, okay, yeah, can you throw in some stuff to an AI and could they edit it? Sure, but is it gonna have the heart that a human editor can give it? And that's the question.
Oh, I'm already dealing with enough of it already at work. Where people are like, can't we just use AI to create these videos? And I'm like, why? So I'm already dealing with it enough.
Vibe coding cleanup? That's wild element.
I have seen the vibe coding. Vibe coding is a thing where you put it in
Yeah.
AI and it vibe codes for you so that you don't have to do it for it. You don't have to do it yourself. So yeah, I have seen that. A lot of IT jobs are going to go pretty much into AI at this point.
Wow.
But you still need people, like that's the other thing. You still need people to go through and make sure that it's correct because yes, AI can do it faster. They could do it quicker. It could do like it could spit it out, in a couple seconds, but it doesn't mean it's correct. It doesn't mean that it's uh no, KP jobs are jobs for people to fix others. Vibe coding. Well, what I'm saying though, people are using AI to vibe code. That's a thing. Vibe coding is like literally using AI to vibe code, like to code. That's what they're doing. The boyfriend is in IT. He tells me all the time about this, and I'm like, that sounds stupid.
Oh, well, there's a lot more about Amazon and even more news. So if you're good, I'm gonna hop over to the next story.
Go for it, because I'm really tired. I want to get off this train.
Perfect. Perfect. We'll be here all day, guys. So, with that being said, though, uh, Amazon Games was also hit with major layoffs as part of the 14,000 jobs cut at that Amazon announcement. So, however, these layoffs was also the decision to reflect on strategic changes at the company and coming to the difficult decision to stop a large number of Amazon Games first part AAA game developments, specifically around MMOs. So this includes Amazon's best known MMO, New World,
Best
Ethereum.
known,
Uh,
best known,
That's what
best
people are saying. I think
known.
Amazon's games specifically, their best known is New
Okay,
World.
I'm like,
Not
New World
the
was okay.
they're not the best known MMO, but for Amazon Games, it is their personal MMO that is the best known. That is how I meant it. But anyway,
I was like,
it
New
is
World was meh.
yeah, so the guys this is all relating to New World. So, yeah. New World will no longer receive any further content updates and could be completely gone by the end of 2026. So the statement from Amazon Games says the recently launched season 10 and Night Haven update will serve as the final content release for New World on PC and consoles. It is only after much consideration that we've reached this decision. To thank you, the New World community, for your support over the years, we have made the Night Haven release available to you for free to ensure all New World players can experience this content. We also made Rise of the Angry Earth free for all PC players. What are your thoughts on this New World news? Let us know. We want to know. I personally was not a big New World fan. But to you guys out there who maybe were or weren't, what are your thoughts on this?
I mean, I'm okay with it going to the wayside. I really wasn't a New World fan either.
Yeah, it didn't land how I was hoping it would for me personally. Visually,
It
like I really liked how it looked visually, but just play style for me, I wasn't in love with.
I
But
like what Latin said. New World is now old world.
it's really funny. So Element, you just said that that you enjoyed the game. Are you an active player? Like, do you play it regularly? Like, how do you feel about this? So Element says it's a new age MMO meant to be played mostly solo with other people just around you.
See, but
Yeah.
that doesn't really like constitute for my in my head what MMO should be. Like
In my
I
opinion,
think
an
wow. When I
MMO
think
is
MMO, I think wow. Like that's what I
yeah.
think.
Like I think like WoW or RuneScape, for
Mhm.
example, where I can go and play stuff solo if I want to. But there's usually more heart and more community. So, and I'm the exact same way. Element. I don't like MMOs without friends. I can hop on to World of Warcraft for a while, and then I get bored really quickly because I'm not playing with people. So I think that's why New World probably landed not as strongly with a lot of MMO lovers because it is more solo focused, where most people play MMOs because they're trying to play with others and with a community.
It also felt very like I understand fetch quests and stuff like that. Like some fetch quests when you
Those are
play in a
normal,
game
yeah.
doesn't seem so daunting to you. It's like, okay, yeah, I did this. Like I ran off over here, I came back, I returned it in, that kind of thing. I just felt like the way they did it in New World was very like tedious in a
Mm,
way. It
gotcha.
didn't feel very like I don't know what's the word. Like enjoyable in a way. Like it felt very just like I'm doing this because I have to, because the game told me I had to.
Gotcha, gotcha. Elements talking about like the different how there is no like really specialized or set classes. So, and that's one thing. MMO people love making their specialized builds. So it could be another sad lack of why it didn't hit with some people. Well, there's more Amazon news.
Dan, shirtless Dan in the house. Yes, I love playing my massive multiplayer online games solo.
Yeah, feel that.
All right. Well, the last bit of our Amazon news is despite the layoffs and major changes happening to Amazon, there is a silver lining. And that is Amazon says it will continue to work with Crystal Dynamics on the next installment of the Tomb Raider franchise. This new game will fall under the Amazon banner and will be powered by Unreal Engine 5. It will also be a single player narrative driven adventure as players continue to tell the story of Lara Croft. So, what are you hoping for in the new Tomb Raider game? Let us know. I want more, I hate to say it, but I kind of want more like how Assassin's Creed is like now, where it's like more like you kind of build like RPG kind of situations with it, you
Oh,
know?
okay.
I kind of want her to be more like that.
That'd be kind of
But I
fun.
also like I wanna be like, okay, if I'm doing bow, I wanna be like, I'm a bow Lara Croft. Or if I'm like gun driven, I wanna be like, I'm a gun
So you kind of
slinger
want like
type Lara.
almost like a subclasses for her.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Interesting.
That's what I want. I actually do enjoy the newer ones because they're less like I know there's puzzles, I know there's all that stuff, but I feel like the originals were very puzzle heavy with little
Sure.
shooting. And I think this one's more like a little bit less like that, but I don't like so much the sneaking around as much. Like I felt like that was a little too much for me, but that's just because I'm not like a heavy stealth player.
Yeah.
I
And there's a
unless I'm
lot
playing
of
with
people
other
out there
people.
like that.
Yeah, yeah. But unless I'm playing with somebody else, I could do stealth, but like overall I don't really like doing a lot of stealth solo.
Yeah, so Element says they would like them to bring back the silliness with like T-Rex and swan diving to kill them. The new ones definitely took a more serious approach for sure, which I actually really like that. But I wish there was more of like, in a weird way, I sometimes feel like they still lack like the shock and awe, the adventure, like that archaeology aspect. The I'm really going to like get these these like historical artifacts and stuff. I don't know. I'm a sucker for that kind of thing. So I almost want like more of that like in my face. So maybe in a
Like more
weird
like
way more of
Indiana Jones
yeah,
kind of.
give me more of those puzzles and such cuz when I'm doing like games like that, that's the kind of stuff I love and expect.
I mean, I did like the fact of her quirkiness, like her little quips that she had, like the first one where she's in a tomb and she's like, "I hate tombs." And I'm like, "You're a tomb raider." Like
Yeah.
explain yourself.
Yeah. Elements
So
said like
I like those little like quips that they gave her. Like they gave her
yeah,
more of
yeah,
an
yeah, yeah, yeah.
attitude in the newer ones, and I love that. But yeah, I just feel like
I like the acting a
just
lot in the new one.
yeah. I'd just
But
be curious to see, like, where are they gonna put her, though? Like, where's the next adventure gonna be? Because
yeah, like what's
it's
the
been a
next
lot of,
leg
like
of her journey?
yeah, it's been a lot of, like it felt like jungles
Yeah.
lately, and I would like to be not in a jungle theme.
It's fair.
That would
It's
be
fair.
nice.
Element says, I remember you when you could climb a ledge while doing a handstand and you could lock her butler in the fridge. Like
Oh, yeah, I remember that! I
that is
remember when you could lock your butler
that's
in
a
the
throwback
fridge.
right there.
I want the giant mansion back. Can we have that? Like, we didn't have the giant mansion recently in these. You don't
It'd be
even
a
get to
fun
do, like,
it
the
would be like a fun way to like get trophies. Like you have hidden items within like
mhm.
the tombs and everything else like that you can find and like they fill your mansion. That'd be kind of a cool little like add-on.
But I wanna go to the mansion. There really was
Yeah.
no, like,
Yeah.
going to the mansion or anything. You always just started off with, like, the first one, you were on a plane ride. The second one, you were, like, thrust into some adventure already. Like, you already were on your way kinda thing. I would like the nostalgia of coming back to the mansion and maybe starting there, as opposed to being like, "Oh, I'm already thrown into something that I'm doing that I have no idea why I'm going," kinda situation.
For sure. For sure.
Like, one of them, you're on a boat going to something. Like, you're already on your way, and you're like, but I wanna go see my cars, and I wanna see where the butler is, and I wanna go find the hidden area underneath the mansion that is for, like, learning how to, like, do all the training and everything from, like, the shooting range to, like, learning how to climb and all that stuff, or going out into, like, the 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 basically the outer area and seeing where I could get lost, you know, like, I want all of that back.
Yeah. I agree
I
with you.
think, like, at one point I was like, "Oh, we could go to her room? Let's see what's in her room."
Element says, to be fair, she does destroy most of the ones she goes in.
That's true.
You are
That is
not
true.
wrong. You are not wrong. Well, everybody, we are going to go on a quick little break. And when we return, though, the ID at Xbox October Showcase just happened, and we are giving you the full highlight of the showcase. We're going to be
Literally all of it.
discussing, we're going to be discussing every game that was shown, you know, sharing what we maybe thought of them, if we like them or not. And yeah, so stick around. When we come back, we'll be diving into the full ID at Xbox October Showcase. So we'll be back soon, guys.
Woo! We'll see you soon.
Boop, boop. All right, everybody. IGN and Xbox teamed up for its ID at Xbox Showcase, and this happened in October. So during the showcase, there were world premieres, release date announcements, and new gameplay, and we're going to show you all of it. So let's kick everything off with KP. What's the first one you got for us?
All right. So first up, we have a look at an update for 33 Immortals. This is already out, so this is just an update. This co-op action roguelite will be releasing the Pride and Temperance update, not to be confused with Pride and Prejudice, in case anybody was wondering.
Oh man.
It will include 2 new weapons, so there's a crossbow of Pride and the glaive of Temperance. There are also new approaches to combat and a new systems such as ordeals, armor break, and chamber objectives. So anybody who has played this, the before this update comes out, let us know what you think. I know this was one that Morgan wanted to check out, and maybe she'll still get a chance to check it out, do a review on it.
Yeah, maybe I need to now that Pride and Temperance is out.
So not to be confused with Pride and Prejudice.
No. But yeah, so maybe I can dive into this and check it out. It's one I really want to check out because you're literally playing with 33 other people. So I want to know how
Yeah.
crazy does it get. And I just like some of the character design and the art style. So yeah, I'm excited for this one and to see how it goes. This game is on Game Pass if anybody uses it. But next up, I have one that y'all can check out, which let me hit play for you. So, check out this game called what was it? Is it Agni? Agni?
I think it's Agni Village.
Okay. Check out this game called Agni Village of Calamity. You will play as an investigator from the Indonesian police unit. You'll plunge into a horrifying reality as you explore Indonesian folklore. Honestly, I'm here for it. I love a good folklore, so I'm down to figure it out and to see what there is. And I'm not I know quite a bit of like mythology and folklores, but I don't know a lot of Indonesian specifically. So it'd be really cool
Mhm.
to learn about it.
The graphics for it is really interesting. It seems very real. It seems more realistic than like cartoony and everything.
I absolutely agree
Um,
with that.
but you play as Agni. That's who is the investigator. So that's why it's called Agni Village of Calamity. I just think overall, I saw this and I immediately thought Morgan would love this.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Hmm.
I guess we'll move on then. From
Yeah.
Indonesia folklore to a cinematic sci-fi action adventure, Morgan is going to show you Alphelion. Now, you play as astronauts Ariane and Thomas, and you'll explore and survey an uncharted planet and solve the mystery of their crash landing. You get ready to survive in the terrifying presence of an unknown hostile life force. I saw this one too, and I literally thought Morgan would love this because she loves sci-fi.
Yeah, this is not my first look at this game. I think they announced it during maybe the summer. I think it's our first ever announcement came out during the Summer Games Showcase. And honestly, I'm so just here for it. It looks so good, and I love some good sci-fi games. But yeah, this is definitely on my radar, and I'm really excited to hopefully get a chance to try this. Gotta love a good Uncharted planet. Now, guys, we're talking sci-fi here, but what about like dungeon brawler stuff, right? So if
Right.
you like dungeon brawlers, then this next game is for you. This is Oasis. It's a dungeon brawler where you hit and fall in this physics driven game. Oasis is a magical world teetering on the edge of darkness, and you'll need to survive this floating relic. Now, Element, if you're still around, it looks like you might get the chance to swan dive onto some things. So maybe you need this for the things you're missing from Tomb Raider. But no, this visually looks super cute. It looks so
Good.
adorable. I'm
I want to play. I actually do want to play this. I had this. I saw this immediately and was like, yes, sign me up.
yeah, I'm here for this. This is really cute. I love it. They're so cute. Stop it. Okay.
It kinda okay, I'm gonna say it kinda gives me um, a little bit of Monster Hunter vibes
Oh,
with it.
really?
Yeah, just because of, oh my god, sorry, I'm watching it, I'm like, "Oh my god, it's so funny." Just because of the way that they do uh, maybe some of the making of the swords and stuff like that, like the blacksmithing and
Oh, okay,
everything,
okay, okay.
but then it also gives me a little bit of, uh, the the Eternal Die game that I played,
Oh, okay. I
you know,
can see
with
that
the
for sure. It even
yeah.
art style wise gives me some like vibes of like an older um how do I put it? Like it makes me think of like an older uh like Legend of Zelda in a way.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, that one's cute. I like it.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one. Alright, well, if you played Darkwood, then you might be interested in this next sequel. So, in this game, you'll explore new lands and waters. There are new characters to fear and new reasons to pray for the morning light. Darkwood 2 features an entirely new story and new characters. I have never played the first one. I don't know about you, Morgan, if you played the
Nope.
first one at all or not. Okay.
No, I haven't, but
Um,
I really like the like how you have like this like this light vision. Like you get to see like the kind of like if you think of like your radius of light you can see in like D&D. I love how like that's like visually shown. It's very interesting.
it
I
also
like
gives
that.
me a
That's
little
really
bit of
unique.
I like that it's a top down.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a little too high though, I feel like. I feel like the camera needs to come back maybe just a hair. But I guess if you're playing D&D type style S stuff, you have that super top down look because of how it is.
For
But
sure.
yeah, it does look really cool. I would be interested in seeing what it's like. And maybe we'll check it out.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe we'll get a chance to. Or at least the very first one.
Well, we'll definitely have that one. I mean, that one's coming to Game Pass, so.
Oh, that's true. That's true. All right, guys. Well, if you've played Daisy, this next trailer is an expansion adding a new chapter to the game. Daisy Badlands will have players explore a scorching desert filled with untold dangers and stories. You'll travel through the province of Nazdarda, where there are region specific weapons and gear and new infected variants to survive. So, yeah, new stuff coming to DayZ if that is a game of which you play. According to Latin, it's DayZ chapter 48.
I played DayZ like long, long time ago, and I didn't really get too much into it.
Yeah, I have DayZ, but I haven't gotten far into it at all. So, who knows? Maybe it'll be really fun.
Maybe. Well, this next one, if you played Dome Keeper on PC, well, now it's coming to Xbox Series X and S, Xbox on PC, Xbox Cloud Gaming, Xbox Play Anywhere, and Xbox Game Pass. You'll need to defend against waves of alien monsters in this unique roguelike action mining game. You'll also drill to dig out tunnels and explore the depths beneath your dome. Each run is procedurally generated with resources, gadgets, and caves to discover. I like this game. I still have to sit down and actually play it, but it's very it's a roguelike in a way because you have to you keep improving, but you
Hmm.
can die in as you dig down. But it is interesting how it works because it's also like a tower defense in a way. So,
Yeah, it's
uh,
pretty unique. I like it because
yeah.
parts of it gives me like Space Invaders vibes for like how you're killing the enemies and such, which I was a big Space Invaders person. Um, so yeah, I like this. That looks really cool. It's really unique.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting. I think I'll have to dive into it eventually as one of the games that I play on my personal streams.
Very nice, very nice. Well, guys, if you don't like mascots, then you won't like this next game. Don't Fret is a first person psychological nightmare. You play as Fret, a sentient guitar and descend into the musically corrupted world of Harmonic Heights. So, there are new environments, expanded gameplay, and musical puzzles. The game features voices from top YouTube talent worldwide. Uh
Maybe one day we'll get there.
maybe, fingers crossed. This is very
Come on, choose
interesting, but
us.
I
We could be very energetic and talented and do voiceover work.
hell yeah. Uh but no, I'm very very interested in this just cuz like I love I have a very strong musical background, so I'm very curious like how these musical puzzles would play out.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm a little curious, but I will admit I've never played a guitar. I never got the chance to learn it.
Yeah, I tried. It's not easy.
No, it is
That's for
not.
sure.
It is not. I had one for a while, but I never really got the chance to really focus on it and like really dive into it because I was just too focused on my other instruments I played. So yeah.
Mhm.
But no, this is interesting.
All right, enough of looking at the craziness happening there. So, if you didn't like Bennett Foddy inspired platformer, then you might not like Egging On, which is available now. But you'll need to roll, jump, and try not to crack on your journey up into the sky as you search for your final resting place. Just one misplaced jump or fall, and you'll fall back to the very beginning. Get ready to master tight controls, learn to balance momentum and timing, and navigate a journey with hidden shortcuts, brutal challenges, and unlockable shells. Dan, this is not one for you. I'm going to tell you that right now because I've watched you play Bennett Foddy. This is not one for you, but I am going to check this one out. I haven't already downloaded, so I'm kind of excited to see what's going to happen with it and how like far I get. It would be really cool just to like check that out. See, even that, not for you, Dan, not for you.
Honestly, I do wonder if sorry, what was I trying to say? I do wonder what it would be like if there was a multiplayer aspect to this, like kind of like the like chain together.
Oh, chain together or like even like Octodad where you have to like move each other and
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly, exactly.
Well, what's interesting is when this came
I, don't-
out on a demo,
I
it
just I just want
blew.
multiplayer so I can yell at my friend that you scrambled me.
You cracked me. It's all your fault. No, but like when they did the demo
Uh,
for this,
yeah.
this was such a game that took off. Like people were playing it like crazy, which I
Okay.
thought was so
Yeah.
cool. And so I'm so happy that they released it where I can actually have a chance to like try it out, see how far I get. Maybe it'll be a challenge. Maybe that will be like one of my streams. How far will Kitty get
Should
in
you should
egging
make
on?
you should make like a little cracked egg like thing and like have like a crack counter.
Oh, I could do that. I
That'd be
could
kind of
do
cute. That'd be kind of cute. Not gonna lie. Like a death counter, but it's a crack counter.
I like it. Okay, it's a goal. It's a
Yes.
goal.
Oh man. Well, everybody, this next one is related to a beloved franchise called Invincible. So, Invincible Versus is getting some new characters added to the roster. Meet Robot, a super genius drone turned human, and Monster Girl, a cursed woman able to transform into a giant humanoid monster who ages backwards in the process. So, Robot uses explosive missiles to keep his foes at a distance, while Monster Girl deals brutal combos and grapple attacks. There is a closed alpha from November 12th to November 24th. Sorry, November 21st to November 24th. The game is set to be released sometime in 2026. So if you want, you could try to get into that closed alpha to test out the game and see how we like it.
I think it's so okay, I'm gonna say this because it's weird. I think it's kind of weird that she's a girl that turns into a boy monster.
Yeah, I like
Like,
her character from the anime. I do like her character, not the anime, but from the show. I like her character a lot though, because like she is dealing with like the every time she uses her power, she gets younger.
Yeah,
So like she kind of almost in a weird way has like an expiration.
that sucks.
Yeah. Like one day she like will have to decide I can't use these powers anymore. I will become too young.
Yeah. Does she age by like a year or is it aging backwards by um
Um,
do you know? I'm just curious.
I
I don't
will.
really know much about the show.
I'm googling because I can't remember. It's been a hot minute. So so from every transformation, her body changes. Her body physically de-ages, making her younger than her biological age. So she ages normally in her human form when not using her powers, but the more she uses her powers, the younger she becomes. The side effect is a result of a curse in her powers that causes her cells to revert to a previous state. Um, a bug that makes her cells 24 hours younger at each time she transforms.
Okay. So even if she was to not use it for like a year, she can age in a year and become older, a year older. But
Yeah.
then let's say within that next year she uses her powers, she'll start aging backwards again. So
Correct.
technically she could get stuck at like one age for the rest of her life.
If used properly, yes.
If used properly, right? We should put that. It should be like part of like the disclaimer. If used properly, you could be stuck at one age for the rest of your life. That's interesting.
Yeah. Well,
Well, this
speaking of
next game that I'm
monsters,
gonna
though.
yes. Well, this is a game that I'm super excited about. I haven't played the demo, but now knowing that it's going to be released soon, I'm like, I'm going to hold off on playing the demo. So, Monsters Are Coming, Rock and Road, now has a release date. In the game, you'll build, fight, and outlast relentless hordes in a world on the brink of collapse. Gather your strength, forge your strategy, and stand together when chaos strikes. Monsters Are Coming, Rock and Road releases on November 20th. So, this month, I'm excited. I'm going to check it out when it does release. It should be a good time.
Yeah. This one
Like a
actually looks really good.
yeah, we've seen this one before. We've talked about it. It's
Yep.
very like tower defense meets like roguelite meets
I think
like a
the last time I saw
war.
it, we I didn't know we could like we'd get out and scavenge stuff.
Yeah.
So it's getting more complex than I initially thought as well. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
Well,
Definitely one I'm keeping an eye on.
yeah. Well, the next one you are too. So
Yes.
so guys, this next one is one that KP has her eye on. I do as well, but Mouse PI for Hire is a first-person shooter that draws inspiration from classic cartoons of the 1930s. This game has hand-drawn rubber hose animations set in noir-fueled detective set in a noir-fueled detective story with
Yeah.
cartoon weapons and power-ups. So we have shown some of the guns in the gameplay, and now we have the official date of release, and that is going to be March 19th, 2026. So this March, we'll finally be able to dive into Mouse PI for Hire. Right now, I'm playing is a deep dive documentary. So if you want, there's like a whole 18-minute documentary with the team about the game that was released during this Xbox showcase with IGN. So yeah, it's really cool if you want to like get a nice deep dive into the team and how they made it.
I love the fact though that it is hand drawn. Like
Me too.
it's not them just sitting there pulling up Unreal Engine 5 and then throwing in the assets. Literally they draw everything and then they put it in to make it animated. So it's a lot of like it's a lot more work than what it was what we're seeing some of these games to be. And you're right. It looks like Doom meets Cuphead. I totally agree with that. And that's what they're kind of going for, but it does have a story. There is a full story of it. The story is basically that um, Jack Pepper is looking for this person who got kidnapped, and on top of that, he's going to be dealing with the mafia in the town of, oh gosh, what do they call it? Mouseville or something like that. Um,
Oh, something like that. I can't remember off
Yeah,
the top of my
it's
head.
like it's got this really interesting, like, extensive story to it, which is really cool. So it's not just just kind of like go into a place and just kill a whole bunch of things. There's like a whole thing to it, which is really fun. And I'm super excited for when it comes out. So I've already got it like literally sitting there going, "Yes, I want to play this. Can I get a demo? I want a demo. Please give me a demo." Yes, Jack Pepper. I know, I love his name.
It's
Who
a
do they
great
say,
name.
who's playing him? They have the voice of him. Um, and they released that for, like, not that long ago.
Um, Troy Baker, actually.
Yes,
Good
that's
old
right.
Troy
Troy
Baker.
Baker is the voice of Jack Pepper,
Yeah,
which
which
is
if
really exciting. That was, like, a whole thing that they released, and I remember then they dropped that and everything, and I was like, "Sweet." So, yeah, they a lot of good things with this one. I'm excited for when it comes out. So definitely mark it as March 19th. That'll be next year. I'm excited. Give us a
yeah.
demo though.
It'll
We
be
want a
here
demo.
soon.
We
It'll be
want a
here soon.
demo.
Give us a demo, please.
All right. Well, this next one that we got, if you guys have played the game Art of Rally, then you'll want to check out Over the Hill. I'm excited for this one too. Uh, in this game, you'll explore the world in the golden age of off-roading. Drive iconic 4x4 vehicles from the 60s to the 80s, solo or with friends. With friends, Morgan, with friends.
Yes, you guys can't see me, but I'm pumping my hands up in the air. Let's go. I want that defender. I want the green defender, please and thank you.
You'll drive across challenging trails and breathtaking landscapes. This game releases next year in 2026. I love it. I'm excited for this. I think this is going to be like the next version of RV There Yet, but like a little less cartoony and more kind of more like I see like children's book with it and stuff like that. So, super excited for this.
Yeah, I'm literally adding this to my wish list right now. I can't wait. All right, everybody, we do have new gameplay that has been revealed for the game Planet of Lana 2 Children of the Leaf. So, this is one I'm actually quite interested in. I think visually it's beautiful. But in this gameplay, you'll experience next level puzzle solving with Lana and her adorable companion, Mui, while taking on robots and alien creatures. Planet of Lana 2 is a sequel and will have a longer playtime, bigger puzzles, and a deeper story as you fight for your home world, Novo. So the game does release in early 2026. I think this is such a pretty side scroller. Like, I'm usually not a big side scroller person, but this is so aesthetically and artistically captivating for me and my brain that I really want to play this.
I just hope that there's because I don't know what the first one was like, so I'm hoping that there's voice lines because like that's something that's always been really difficult for me is like you
Agreed.
get a side scroller and then it's like I have to read everything and I'm like oh and I have to side scroll. Come on, give me something.
Absolutely agree.
Give me something. It's super cute though. I immediately when I saw this was like Morgan will like
Yeah,
this.
I do.
All right, this next game was a world first look at a new game from Serenity Forge. So this is Puppergeist, a rhythm and visual novel hybrid about the unconditional love that our pets provide. You'll explore doggy underworld as a young witch named Claire. She must find her pup by connecting with other dogs, learning their stories and solving their issues. The game releases in 2026. I think this is cute too. I'm
This is
like, oh
so
my god,
stinking cute.
it's a whole game about dogs and the underworld of dogs.
I love it. It's so cute.
I don't mind that it's rhythm too. Like sometimes I get a little like, I don't know if I want to do a rhythm game, but I guess it just depends on how it all plays out.
Yeah, for sure. It could get really dark really fast, Element. You are not wrong. Well, speaking of dark things, how about another horror game?
Woo,
So,
more horror, more
woo
sci-fi,
woo
more
woo woo.
sci-fi and horror
Let's
together.
go, let's go. So this is Routine, a first-person sci-fi horror set on an abandoned lunar base designed around an 80s vision of the future. So explore deserted malls and deteriorating living quarters as you search for answers that will put you face to face with an enemy that sees you as a threat. Routine releases on December 4th of this year. You can wishlist it now. And honestly, I'm quite excited for that one. It looks very intriguing. Looks
That's
quite.
good because I'm like, no, I'm good.
I have a feeling it's gonna have almost like that weird claustrophobia vibe,
Yeah, yeah,
which
and I won't like that.
doesn't bother me, but I think it's really cool. I don't know if it's a game that I would necessarily, because usually those ones I get like taxed and tired quickly when playing games like that. So I don't know if it's
Right.
one I would really play myself. It's probably one I would more watch someone play so I can enjoy the story. Because like
That makes
I'm not quite the same way with Dead Space, but Dead Space is one like I played a little bit of it, but I've really know Dead Space and love Dead Space because I've just watched the gameplays. Very fair element. I do like the aesthetic as well.
All right, this next one though, I'm super excited about also because I heard so
It's
much
so
fun things
cute.
about it.
It
Well,
looks so
it's
fun.
out right now on PC, but it's coming to the Xbox realm, right?
Nice.
But there have been so much like if you guys have been scrolling through Instagram, TikTok, there has been so many like little short videos on this game. So get ready to hang out with your friends in this multiplayer snow sport. Sledding game. Sledding game. Let's go. You'll go sledding, crash into your friends, throw snowballs, build ramps, and play mini games like fishing, darts, curling, cornhole, or just chill and drink a cup of hot cocoa.
Heck yeah.
Oh, and if you explore too far, a Yeti will appear and kick you back onto the map, which is hilarious to me.
That's amazing. I need to see it.
We need to play this game.
I 100% agree with you. This is fantastic. All right though. Man. Well, guys,
Ma'am.
if you're a soccer fan, then Super Bowl might be the game for you. This game is already out and is set in a neon soaked near future, blending fast paced 3 versus 3 street sports with unique hero abilities and interactive items, and delivering freeform matches fueled by skill, clutch plays, and spectacle. So get ready to hit the ground running as you work together with your teammates to score big. Honestly, this looks really interesting. I do like soccer, so it kind of like to me is like in a funny way. It literally makes me think of Rematch, which is a soccer game that came out a little earlier in the year. Meets like it's literally like Rematch meets
Rocket League?
Rocket League meets like Overwatch in the
Yeah.
designs, and I'm kind of here for it. I kind of want to try it. This just seems
Yeah.
wild and absurd. Huh? I like it. It's fun.
I would suck at it.
It's on Game Pass though, for anybody
It
who
is.
for Ultimate members. But yeah, we'll see.
All right. Well, if you love game show inspired games, then check out this next one, Task Time. It's a competitive party game where 8 friends dive headfirst into 6 rounds of unpredictable tasks and physics fueled chaos. This game is coming soon to Xbox on PC. I literally think like Among Us.
Yeah,
But like look at what you look like.
the rounds are timed too.
Yeah. Or like party animals. Like party animals is
Yeah,
kind of like this. But like meets Among Us.
but like almost like the art design of like Fall Guys in a way.
You're right. Latin says I have so many questions.
I kind of do too, but I kind of like I'm here for it. Oh my god, you have like the little like spring punchy thing. What? I want
Hmm.
that. I mean, I'd play it. I'd play it with the friends. It could be hilarious. Huh. It looks really cute, actually. But anyway, this is a game I know many of us like and play, but the popular TCG card shop simulator game is coming to Xbox Game Pass, Xbox Series X and S, and Xbox on PC in early 2026. So you'll build your very own game store from the ground up, stock up the shelves with plushies, sleeves, and the latest booster packs. Or if you're daring, rip them open and keep the cards for yourself. And you can even set up and host events to grow your humble shop into a card slinger's paradise. So, yeah, if you're a TCG fan but you want it on Xbox, it is coming soon to all of the Xbox areas through Game Pass. I love TCG. It's one of those things I can just like do constantly on my own, like just to like chill and relax. And I love looking for like the good cards that I can sell.
Yeah, my whole thing is like, for me, I got so far, right? And then I stopped. And then they threw out all these updates and
Sure,
everything. And I was like, oh crap, I gotta start over. So I did. I like restarted because sometimes it doesn't make sense to pick up where you started
sure,
last,
sure.
especially with updates. It throws me off.
That's fair.
So
Totally fair.
yeah, so I restarted it. So I gotta jump back into it and see what's going on with my place. But Latin said that he still needs to play more of it because, I got him the game.
Nice.
So what are you waiting for? All right. Well, this next one is if you like dark fantasy RPG, then check out Ungodly. It delivers a rich, immersive experience, letting players dive into brutal combat and character driven storytelling. Ungodly brings cinematic depth and emotional intensity to screens of every size.
Sign me up.
Sign me up.
It
I,
looks
I think
I'm
there's
actually
going to be
pretty
a,
interested.
yeah. Oh, it's for the creators of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.
Nice. Yeah, I would definitely check this out. I like it. I don't know also who was
I'm
just on the who the character was on the screen, but she was kind of hot. Not gonna lie. Oh, that one chick was just caked up. Holy shit. Okay, I don't know if we can show that on Twitch. No, I'm kidding. Uh, no, I'm definitely excited to check this out because it does seem really really interesting. Uh, but anyway, for now, we do have one more game that was announced during the showcase. So, and KP, I know you play this game. I have not. I've heard a lot of love about Vampire Survivors, but you now can check out the free DLC coming to Vampire Survivors. So join Jimbo and cast a sorry, join Jimbo and a cast of wild cards with combo potential that'll probably break the scoreboard in Vampire Survivors Anti-Chamber, and it's available now. So, yeah, I've never played this, but I've heard amazing things, and it's cool that we're getting a free DLC for it.
So Element actually walked me. It was funny. I was doing terrible with this game. Like I couldn't figure it out. Like it was driving me nuts. And so Element actually took the time to walk me through like what to get in the game so that I could actually beat the game. It was great. I loved it. Like it was like sometimes you just need that little bit of help to be like, okay, I understand the mechanics of the game. I know how it works, but I can't figure out what the right combos are or what I'm supposed to be looking at or thinking about or like like how I'm supposed to like make my character work properly
Sure.
because this game is not for the faint of heart. Like this one is actually harder than I think some of the other roguelites that I've played that are horde games like this and everything.
For
So
someone who doesn't play a lot of roguelites, this looks overwhelming.
it can be overwhelming. Like this one is actually considered I on a standpoint, and this is coming from me. Like I think this one is a lot is a more difficult version of a horde game than like the other ones that I've played, like the Spell Brigade, Be My Horde, um, Soulstone Survivors, Asgard. Like those ones weren't that hard. This one, for some reason, is hard, and
Wow.
so sometimes having people in your chat with you when you're playing it who have figured it out, like the right like the right combination. does help. So, like, I'm excited to see what this is and what it, like, entails and see how I fail, but that's alright. But at the same time, like, it's a lot of fun. Like, I really do enjoy them because it does kinda give you that, aspect of, like, pushing you to see how well you can do kinda situation, so
Nice. All right, everybody. With that being said, that does bring us to the end of our like full deep dive highlight of the IGN and Xbox ID at Xbox showcase that happened in October. And with that being said, we're going to go on one last short little break. And when we return, we have two video games we can't wait to show you. They're on the spooky side, and they're a lot of fun. There's one that I really can't wait to dive into and play, and then KP was one that she got to actually test and give her full review on. So stick
and
around.
just spoiler alert, it's not the Huntsman game. We're not
It
showing the spiders.
No, for her sake, we are not showing my Huntsman review on the show, so she doesn't have to deal with Big Spooter. But if you want to know how the Huntsman game actually plays and my thoughts on it, it is on our YouTube. So do head over there and watch that when you have time. But for now, we'll be right back, and when we return, we're gonna dive into these two games we can't wait to show you. So we'll be back soon, y'all.
Do you think you can stomach a shift
Ugh.
at midnight inside a gas station store? Well, that's what I'm hoping to do in this first look at Shift at Midnight, the multiplayer demo. Let's dive into the gameplay. I teamed up with White Ghost as we started our first shift at our new job running a gas station store. The job might seem easy: stock the shelves by dragging and dropping the items onto the shelf. Check out the customers by scanning their identification card, asking questions, and making sure they aren't a doppelganger. If they are, get ready to shoot them into pieces. You'll need to clean up the mess and pick up the pieces in a garbage bag and throw them out. But that's not all. You'll also need to take on an entity that will appear at some point in the game, which you'll need to lay traps to slow it down and shoot it. Let's look at the art design. The game uses a low poly 3D model for its look. This means characters and items are simple geometric shapes and have a somewhat retro or low fidelity aesthetic. It also adds to the dark, atmospheric, and creepy mood the game wants to portray. Now to the soundtrack. The characters will talk to you, but they don't have actual voice lines. Instead, it sounds like an old MIDI file. But the atmospheric sounds of the game do add to the aesthetic and make it sound creepy. Overall, Shift at Midnight is a silly game where you have to decide if someone is a doppelganger or not, and playing with friends makes the game seem even sillier as you encounter all types of random characters. You can play this game's demo single player or multiplayer, and there is no release date just yet, but this is one that I will be keeping on my radar when it releases. This is your first look at the demo for Shift at Midnight.
Okay, I need to know, KP. Like, when trying to figure out which ones are like the imposters, right?
Mm-hmm. The doppelgangers, yeah.
Yeah, thank you, the doppelgangers. The guy who was like moonwalking and then was doing the weird arm thing, was he a doppelganger?
No, he
What?
wasn't.
He was just a
He was
crazy
human.
dude? Oh my god.
Yeah, he was human.
Bro,
It's
that is a whole ass mood. This
it
looks
was so funny when he walked into because so White Ghost, so everybody knows, is my brother. But it was so funny though because he walks in and my brother's like, okay. Unfortunately, you can't just shoot them all. If you do, you actually
there'll be
lose
like
money.
repercussions.
Yeah, there's repercussions. So the
Okay.
entity comes out, I think like faster, but he didn't come out like because we were trying really hard not to do that. And then on top of that, you lose money. So because you have to make X amount of money for the day because it's your shift. But there was so many
Gotcha.
times in the game where my brother was like, he'd go outside because so he was on limb pickup duty, and I was like, and every time we'd kill somebody, I'd be like, oh man, I gotta go clean up the ketchup again. And so
Oh
and
man.
so he would go get the trash bags and he'd start putting the limbs in there, and I'm cleaning up the blood and everything, and he goes outside to throw out the bodies, and there's like a dude outside, and he's like, uh what? And he's like, "Come here." And I'm like, "What?" And then so I walk out and there's this dude just standing out there. And he's like, "You didn't bring the gun?" I'm like, "No." And I'm like, "All right, I'll be back." And I run back and I get the gun and I shoot him. It was a good time. I don't mind the I don't mind the graphics, but like the spider thing was like so weird to me. Like that entity thing, because they have like
Hmm.
signs and stuff where it's like it can't see you, but it can hear you. And I'm like, cool. And so my brother's like setting up traps and stuff, and then this thing comes in, and I'm just like, oh my God, this is ridiculous.
Interesting.
But
Hmm.
he did enjoy the tall dude, like the massive
He
guy that
is
you saw.
so tall.
It was really funny though because so I see him and he didn't see me yet, and so I'm like, "Hold on, I got an idea." And my brother's like, "Where are you going?" And I'm like, "Hold on." And I'm like closing doors, and I get underneath him and I grab the gun, and I'm like, "Okay, this is gonna be good." I like open up the garage door. He's like, "What are you doing? He's gonna come out and get you." And I'm like, "Hold on, this will be fun." And so I shoot him, and this dude like goes crazy, and then I come around the side to the front, and he's like trying to leave the store, and he can't. And I just killed him.
My gosh, that's crazy.
It was a good time. It was a good time.
It looks
E-
surprisingly it looks faster paced than I thought it was going to be when I saw the trailers. Um, do you feel
e-
that way? Do you feel like it was
It,
well paced?
it was well paced actually. So
Okay.
it's kind of funny, like, as soon as you like, let's say it's a doppelganger and you kill them, right? As soon as
Mhm.
you kill them, you'll hear, like, "Beep boop," because somebody comes in and you're like so the whole time I'm, like, talking to them, and they can't hear me, and I'm like, "Don't mind me, ma'am. This is just ketchup. Somebody spilled ketchup on the floor again."
Just to catch up.
But yeah, it is actually very well paced. The shifts kind of go quickly, but it is a lot of like scan the ID, look at the ID, ask the questions. Like there was one that we missed because we had two of the same people come in, but the dude was shirtless, and we were like, okay, and no, it was not shirtless Dan. Uh,
Oh
in case you're
no.
wondering, because we did kill one of them, but we didn't ask about a specific thing with his sister because he's like, "Oh yeah, my sister did this," and we were like, "Okay." And so we shot one of them, but didn't shoot the other. And at the end, it tells you like human doppelganger, human doppelganger. So we had one doppelganger get through, and we read it, and it was like, "Oh, his sister's dead. We should have asked about the sister. We should have looked her up, and we didn't think to do that." So it's just
Mm.
like little things that you don't think about when you're playing the game.
Sure, 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 sure. That's really cool though. It's a very unique concept.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting. But
I like that they made it multiplayer because it was
yes, I agree with
originally
that.
single player, and that was I've seen like many streamers play it by themselves, but I like the fact that they made it multiplayer. And even the aspect of filling the shelves, I thought that was going to be tedious, like literally grabbing the object, sliding it and dropping it, but it was
Yeah.
actually very satisfying. And then when you had when the box was empty, it just kind of like folded in on itself and disappeared. And I was like, that's kind of a nifty little like animation graphic there for that. So there
Nice.
was a lot of good things with it. Yeah.
Very nice. Well, next up we have another like spooky game, but it's more emotional and I think kind of bittersweet. But for now, let's go ahead and dive into this other game we wanted to show you guys. Get your feet wet with this rich story about Riley's adventure with a headstrong ghost named Josh that is urging her to explore a long abandoned island where she'll uncover the island's deep and tragic secret. This is Ghost on the Shore by developer like Charlie. You play as Riley, who is a young woman stranded on a desolate island. You will explore the crumbling homes of long vanished residents, finding their belongings, and get to know the ghost named Josh in the process. Your roleplay dialogue choices matter as those decisions help shape the bond you have with your ghostly companion, Josh, and your bond with Josh influences the outcome of the game. This is a story exploration game about emotional ties that transcend even death. And as you explore, you will learn about the history of the island, Josh's memories and feelings, and even Riley's dreams, goals, and why she is running from her old life. Every choice in this game is only shown once, so that means your choices are definite and irrevocable. In Ghost on the Shore, you will discover the branching narrative and its four alternate endings, gather clues and investigate what happened, and make emotional choices and experience the consequences. This single player game is already out on Steam and costs $19.99, though I do see it go on sale on occasion. There's also a demo available on Steam so you can test the waters before buying. All right, everybody. So, Ghost on the Shore is a game I genuinely cannot wait to dive into. It has come out back in 2022, but it was just a game I really, really wanted to like showcase because I think it is a very beautiful game even before diving into it. There is a demo if you want to test it, um, which I do have that in my library, but I really want to buy this game and just like love it and enjoy it. I think it's very visually pretty. I love a good emotional story. It'll probably make me cry. I'm a crier. I'll probably cry to it. It's fine. But yeah, I'm really really excited about this one and having a chance to really dive into it and figure it out. The voice lines, if anybody was wondering, they are actually voiced. We have voice actors, so it's not like one of those games where you're dealing with just like uh subtitled dialogue only. There is actual voice actors, which makes me happy.
Maybe we'll just get you crying on stream, and then
It
that'll
wouldn't
be
be
the
the
whole
first
review.
it wouldn't be the first time I cry on stream, so
No, but that just could be the whole review.
it's just so good. Actually has it's very the reviews are also very positive on Steam, which is nice.
That's good. Yeah. It
Yeah.
does look very story driven, which is nice. It kind of fits
Yeah.
your wheelhouse of games that you really enjoy. And I like that it's
Very
like
Morgan core.
yeah, it's very Morgan Core, that's what we're gonna call it. But I like that it's not like spooky. It's like it
Yes.
is, but it's not like, oh my gosh, jump out of your seat, hide behind your chair,
Exactly. You're dealing with
fall out
ghosts.
of your chair kind
Like
of thing.
you're dealing with ghosts, you know? So there's a little bit of spook to that side of it, but if you're somebody who like wants a like cozier kind of game that still like I think I would play this anytime, but like I could see myself kicking back with like a nice hot tea on like a nice fall night playing this game. There it's like, ooh, it has ghosts, but it's cute. Yay.
Make sure you bring your tissues.
I just need my shirt. I'm kidding. Come here, Owen.
Oh no.
I'm
It's
kidding.
a
I
good
would
thing you're
not.
not allergic. Could you imagine?
Oh no, I could not. And I would not do that to my poor cat. But yeah, this is one I really genuinely cannot wait to dive into. Like I have the demo in my library, but I'll probably because I have seen this go on sale a couple times, I'll probably snag it during like the that holiday sale coming up eventually. So, yeah, I'm excited for this one.
All right.
Oh yeah. Well, guys, that brings us
Hey,
to the end
we
of today's
finished
show.
it. We did the whole show.
We made it. But for our next show, y'all, Animal Fest starts tomorrow. So that's where the animals are the spotlight of the game. So we'll be diving and looking as we always do, going through probably way too many of them, adding way too many to our wish list because that's just how we are, adding way too many demos to our list to check out. But yeah, with all that, we will end up showing you which game stood out to us and maybe even a demo or a few. But before we go, we want to remind you don't forget to check us out across all of our social medias. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky, LinkedIn, TikTok, and Threads.
That's right. And we also have a website now. A website. Whoop whoop,
Website,
a
website.
website. So definitely check that out. We have been adding articles to our website, so from time to time, when we have time to write stuff and get it out. And if you guys like what you're seeing, make sure you hit the heart on Twitch. Show us some love over there. And if you are over on YouTube, make sure you hit the like on this lovely stream and all of our other content so it gets more reach. Um, Hit that subscribe button if you aren't subscribed already. And what else do they need to do, Morgan?
Ding dong that bell.
That's right. Or you won't know anything about when we put up content, when we go live, when we're falling asleep because, we feel like it. I don't know. Who knows?
What?
I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, yeah, we're at 270 already. We're on our way to 300. We're really excited. We just keep growing and we're super happy about this. So please help us keep spreading that love. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the bell, and help us out. But yes, we have a lot going on for next week with Animal Fest starting.
So
More
much,
reviews coming.
so
They will
much planned
be.
for holiday season too.
Oh, I know. Don't even get me started on that.
Let
Don't
alone
even get me started
the
on that.
game award show is going to be around the corner as well, and we always do our live stream for that.
Yep. We have the Game
Yep.
Awards. We have promos we need to make.
Lot.
So we are going to be busy, busy bees. So until then, we'll see you guys next Sunday and check out all of our stuff and keep processing.
Bye, guys.